Welcome to Blueprint Boost for Contractors, the podcast that's your go-to source for unlocking the secrets to successful marketing, gaining valuable insights, and growing your contracting business with less stress. Your host is David Brooks, and he's thrilled to be your guide on this journey. As a seasoned expert in the contracting industry, David understands the challenges you face. That's why each episode is crafted to provide you with actionable strategies and proven blueprints to boost your business to new heights.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. We have a really special episode in store for you guys. I have not only a returning guest to the podcast, but a really large undertaking that we're about to announce soon, but I'll allow him to introduce himself.
Hey, David, good to be with you again. Hello, everyone. I'm Brent Cooksey, also known as the Air Doctor, home performance contracting business out of Southeast Michigan.
All right. Nice to have you back, brother.
Yeah, good to be back.
All right. So we're going to get into a couple things in this episode and just break down one by one. But we're going to start off with, year 2025, a lot of things going on, tariffs, we got all kind of changes to laws being taken place. But what are some of the biggest challenges that, HVAC contractors are facing right now today?
Well, speaking from my standpoint locally, I know our market has been particularly down just because of some of the uncertainty. So we don't have quite the volume of customers looking to invest into their systems like they once did, especially during the COVID years. So dealing with that uncertainty, we're trying to increase our, if you will, our pitch or our rollout to customers to help them understand that, investing in your home, especially with a high performance heating and cooling system, is still a great investment from a number of standpoints. Looking at comfort, looking at energy savings, that kind of thing. So just getting better at communicating those benefits, especially when everybody's a little bit gun shy kind of with the economy. So that's been one of our biggest challenges, trying to get customers to close at the kitchen table without necessarily knowing what the economy is going to look like here in the next few months or year or so.
All right. And then, also too, as a business owner and a person inside of the business in a day-to-day, over the years, how has the customer service experience changed in the industry?
That's a good question. So I know when we first got our business rolling years ago, probably in the late 80s, it was a customer will look up the yellow pages, they'll find a number and they'll call it, you answer the phone and you'll address that customer and go out and service them for whatever they need. Nowadays, I know in my business, I had to put a little bit more emphasis on allowing customers to communicate with us in ways that are not direct cell phone contact, allowing customers to text our business. We had a fair number of customers who just are not interested in speaking to someone on the phone, yet they still want the same timely response. So years ago, we learned that giving the customers the ability to text and email and they get quick responses, you still get quite a bit of service volume from that particular demographic of customers who just are not interested in talking on the phone. So that was one thing we had to change years ago.
Yeah. So as it's changing and your different touch points and ways to connect with the customer is changing, it's definitely different, from what it was. And you gotta have to keep up with the times and the changes, right? And so if you're a contractor in working inside of your business, how important is it to have the right systems and tools set up in place?
It's extremely important. If you look at one of my things I tell contractors that are initially starting to grow their business, you want to make it really easy for that customer to reach out to you and get a quick response. You can only do that by having a CRM to manage those customers, a dedicated person to answer the phone, and it has to be easy for that customer to reach out. If that customer reaches out to you and they have a hard time accessing you or your business, or if they can't get the information that they need, in our industry, it's customers have a really low tolerance. So once they get a feel that they're not going to get the help from contacting your business, they're off to the next competitor of yours.
Mhm. Yeah. And inside of, the business and having the right systems and processes in place, how important is ongoing training, not just from a technical aspect, but also from a sales and leadership aspect?
That is a amazing point you bring up. So ongoing training is absolutely critical. Every role in your business should have some type of ongoing training. I look at the initial contact from the CSRs, the CSR or dispatcher, your initial interface with the company. They need a lot of training. One, they have to empathize with that customer. Typically, that customer is they're anxious, they're frantic. Something substantial has happened, so that CSR dispatcher has to carry that customer through getting their problem out and assuring that customer that we're the right contractor for them. And that CSR has to constantly be coached as far as their calls about what they can do better or what things can change. So training is number one. Obviously, technical training is important. I know in our business we train once a week just to kind of go over trends that we're seeing in the field. Maybe it's a common pattern, and maybe once a month we might have a longer training, but it doesn't have to be large. We do it every Tuesday, and it's about an hour. Uh, our office staff and our management team, we go through training also, and we look at more ways, communication, how to communicate with people. They have to have a level of customer service. So training is absolutely important, and it's important to be consistent, and it has to touch every single member of the organization.
Mhm. It's important. It's an ongoing thing. It's not a set it and forget it. You
No,
do it now and then, and you think everything's going to be okay, because it's always going to be things to fine tune, processes to streamline, new people to bring on board, so everybody can be in sync and unison.
yep, absolutely.
And now our big segue, so we're launching Pro Contractors Network, and why is that needed in today's market?
That's a very good question. So, for the general public, you and I teamed up to bring this solution, and it's a number of things. One, contracting businesses have a high failure rate. There's some stats that say contractors within 5 years, 90% of them fail, right? Which is staggering. And HVAC contractor in specifically, they're the second riskiest business next to a restaurant. Right. Restaurants typically have a really, really high failure rate, which is a shame because if you look at heating and cooling specifically, every single person pretty much on the planet needs some type of conditioned air, whether whatever building they're going or in their home. So with that being said, we wanted to find out why contractors were failing. They didn't provide tools and resources to help them along, and that's what Pro Contractor Network is going to do. Just speaking from experience, I was a technician, a converted tech, and when I started my business, I didn't understand what a P&L was. I didn't understand what a balance sheet was. I knew very little about marketing. I had a skill set that I can fix HVAC equipment or put it in. And from that standpoint, that really didn't translate to business sense. So, obviously, I had some growing pains. I had to experience growth. I had to experience uh, customer service. I had to experience all these things that really, if you don't get with a best practice group, you're really in the dark feeling your way through. And if you have a best practice group, they can kind of give you the tools to help you overcome your hurdles. So, Pro Contractor Network is extremely important because we have a lot of things that can't get done if we don't have adequately trained contractors with sustainable businesses. For example, marketplace transformation. There's a lot of areas of the country where they want to incentivize heat pumps. Well, you need to have contractors who are trained and have good business plans to be around to take care of this market transformation. And if you don't, customers are still going to experience the discomfort, or if you're concerned about climate change, those issues. So you got to have contractors around that are profitable and prosperous in order to do that. And that's what Pro Contractor Network is going to do.
Excellent take. And with the initiative and launching this, not from just a organizational standpoint, but just what we're able to bring to the table as far as hands on, right? Like, we want you to be able to succeed. We want to be integrated into your business so that we keep tabs on your progress. Like, we just don't want to have you, meet with you and then send you on your way and you get going. But we want to be able to make sure that you're in the ecosystem, you're getting all the resources and material that you need. And a lot of times, you hear people say, well, I can't get in touch with my rep, or I can't get to this person, I can't get to that person. And I think with Pro Contractors Network, that's definitely, going to be one of our main caveats is excellent customer service.
Absolutely. And you're not going to be treated as a number. And with everybody's skill set that we have on the platform, you're going to find guidance with just about everything. Like my biggest asset to the organization would be my technical skills. So signing up with Contractor Network, we can give you all the tools to have your technicians have a low callback rating, which is going to increase your profitability. You bring the marketing capabilities where we can set up a contractor and have them see more leads and have them have a robust website. And we have a network of business coaches that can help you with your financials or marketing and all those things. So you're going to be treated like a barcode, and you're also going to be given everything that you need. And there's going to be some accountability that you're going to have to, constantly contribute to your success. Whereas I think some other network or best practices groups, they don't give you the accountability. So it's easy to fall back in some of the bad habits, and that's where contractors get in trouble.
Yeah, I totally agree. And, having that accountability be there, really being able to push because, we want your business to succeed. It's just almost like, having a customer call and, the customer is wanting to give you their money, but you're not picking up the phone, right? So you have to be attentive. Just different touch points and things. We're going to help train your team and be involved in that office, that day to day, so that you're cutting back, like you said, cutting back on techs having to come back and make repairs and revisions and things, which is going to help transform your business.
Absolutely. And we're a group that's going to cater to contractors of all sizes, so that small solo man in the truck that's looking to grow, it's something for you. You're a mega contractor and you're trying to be more profitable, you're trying to get more to the bottom line, and you're a 20 or $30 million contractor, it's going to be something for you. So we're going to focus on the entire demographic of contracting just to ensure that contractors are successful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and with that being said, fostering the community, we want people to come in and being able to have this, community feel and approach for us to be able to not only just talk to you individually, but also in group segments too as well, to be able to have coaching sessions that where people are able to come out and get information, and we're able to have members go out and actually be on site to help your team grow and give you that catered approach.
Absolutely, which is important because a Zoom call is a Zoom call, but you're going to have dedicated business consultants that are going to be willing to actually travel to your location and help put their hands on the problem. And this is going to be an organization that doesn't judge. Just as a contractor, I've made every mistake in the book, and it's nothing that a contractor can show me or tell me about their financials or their marketing or an embarrassing customer service issue just because we've been there. So it's going to be a safe place where contractors can be open and they can be vulnerable about their business so that they can get the proper help that they need without being shamed. I think some organizations will kind of put that shame on you. And, a lot of times it does make contractors kind of tense up where they won't be as open to get the help that they need.
Yeah. We're not gonna ignore you. I think some people, out there, they feel ignored. They need the help, and everybody's at different stages, and so you may not be able to fit into this stage where you're at currently, but it's some help for you. And you don't have to feel bad about what stage you're at, how long you've been doing it. You don't have to do a comparison and look at the next person. It's just really looking at you, what you're capable of, and we just take it from there.
Absolutely. Yeah, so it's going to be a blast. We're looking forward to helping, helping contractors be successful. Again, a contracting company can unintentionally run a nonprofit. They can totally, and they cannot know it either. Yeah, so just what the things I've learned, I'm going to contribute. I know you're going to contribute with your business contractor, Rhino, and we have a ton of other coaches and consultants that are going to be joining the platform to help us change the narrative where contractors can be successful, they can be profitable, and they can be prosperous.
Mm-hmm. I'm a firm believer in that. Firm believer in that. And just ending on a segue, it's just about investing, right? Investing inside yourself, investing inside of your business, and not enough people, take time out for doing that, and sometimes you don't utilize the importance of doing that. I've had one contractor, say, "Hey, look, I was running a business for 15 years, and just to say it was the same ebb and flow, It wasn't until I got some help and coaching that I transformed the business, triple, my sales, and now the business looks totally different. But all because they decided after 15 years, hey, look, I'm going to get some coaching, I'm going to get some help to be able to allow me to be able to get outside of the truck and then be just behind the office door."
Absolutely. I have some examples where some businesses I know and I work closely with, they were in business probably 23 years, and it took them 10 years to be profitable. And some dark years where they consider closing their business. They weathered the storm, and now they're $100 million company with a robust bottom line. And it's just they took the steps necessary to put the processes and procedures in place in their business to transform it. And that's what we're going to be banking on. We're going to make sure that we understand your needs clearly, and then help you develop processes and procedures to help you navigate that. So I'm super excited. I'm super excited to get to work, and this couldn't come at a better time, especially with a lot of the uncertainty that you mentioned that's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're looking forward to helping out you guys. We're here if you need us. Really take a look at your business, your goals, be able to have your systems and processes in place, the importance of training your staff so that you could get out from the day-to-day inside of the truck. Or if you're just, smaller operation and you're just looking to just refine some things, we definitely can do that. We're looking forward to working with you guys.
Dave, as always, it's a pleasure, man. Looking forward to getting to work, and we'll talk to everybody soon.
All right. Thanks so much. We look forward to helping out you guys, and make sure you tune into the next episode.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Blueprint Boost for Contractors. We hope you found today's insights and strategies valuable for your contracting business. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and please leave us a review. Your feedback helps us bring content that truly matters.